Alrighty, and we are live. Welcome to another episode of our new podcast series here for the Women's International Music Network. That is live, front and center, where we bring you an incredible woman in the industry and we talk about everything to do with music, how things are going, what they've got planned. And today, we have got in studio Miss Shiragirl.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us today, because we're gonna talk about some really important stuff. Shiragirl has a really incredible, important live fundraising performances that are happening every Tuesday through to the beginning of November that have to do with election day that have to do with voter engagement and voter registration. And before we do that, though, because there are going to be some people who don't really know who you are and why you're so danged amazing. So how about I give you the floor and you share with us your amazerfulness.
Sure. So I am Shira from the band Shiragirl. I'm a singer, all-girl punk rock band, widely known for running a stage on the Vans Warped Tour for female artists. And basically back in the day, I just noticed that there were only dudes on stage. I couldn't find one woman playing an instrument. And I decided to kind of crash the Warped Tour and eventually started an official stage called the Shiragirl stage, kind of coined by Kevin Lyman, the founder. And it was great. He really supported what we were doing and invited us on the tour. And we were able to host over 300 female-fronted bands and artists, including the rock icon Joan Jett, which we can talk a little bit more about, and also Paramore on their first ever tour, which is exciting. Yeah, so
that is exciting.
Yeah, and then now I'm a founder of Gritty and Pink. We are a new platform to empower women in music through an online network, virtual events, and lifestyle partnerships.
See that? And that was such a quick intro, but I'm telling you, y'all, this woman works hard. She's dedicated. She's talented. She DIYs the heck out of things. It's like, oh, it doesn't exist? Fine, I'll just make it happen. That's exactly what you did.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you were correct, because let me tell you what. I'm up here in Sacramento, California, and we have, of course, it didn't happen this year because of COVID, but we had been hosting the Aftershock Festival since 2000. When did it start? 2014, I think. And it was, a festival with hard rock metal bands. And it went, the first year was like 1 day. And then the next like 5 years was like 2 days. And then last year they did 3 days. It's just become so huge. But every time there's little to no female bands, female fronted bands. And, last year they did better because they had, they did better. I say better because in the 3 days and the 50 bands, there were 8 bands that were either female or female fronted. That's better than nothing.
It's an improvement.
But, and there's so many talented women out there doing the damn thing. So good for you that you do that, that you still do that. So, okay, obviously it didn't happen this year, right? If I were to guess.
Nope, nothing happened this year.
Nothing. Do you know if they plan on doing that next year? Because I know they're pushing ticket sales for like Aftershock next year. They're pushing sales for a lot of things from summer beyond, like crossing fingers, hoping we'll have it live. But
right,
I don't know. I know NAMM isn't going live.
Yeah, no. So last year actually was the 25th anniversary of Warped Tour, and he had billed 2018 as the last year of the final cross country run, full run. And then last year he did 3 festivals in Cleveland at the Rock Hall of Fame, Atlantic City on the beach, and then actually at Shoreline Amphitheater, which I got to play. The last Warped event ever. It was amazing. So yeah, Kevin Lyman, the founder of the tour, is a very big mentor to me, and actually just able to see him this weekend for some socially distanced jazz on the lawn. But he, I think, feels, he's a professor at USC now, and he wants to move on to other things. So I don't think we'll be seeing the Warped Tour come back in its form. I mean, they were going to do a cruise. Obviously, that got canceled. So you never know. I think he's planning some other things he's got up his sleeve. But yeah, to be part of that legacy was just an honor. And he was so supportive. And he would, get a lot of flack from women like you and me, noticing like why aren't there a lot of women? But there are a lot of other factors. You can't really attribute it to one promoter. If anything, he was the one promoter who was trying to do things about it. Why aren't women signed to labels more? Why aren't they played on rock radio more? There are a lot of factors.
Oh, so many factors. And as a person who has helped run festivals and whatnot, I do understand that a large portion of it relies heavily on the availability of people and them being able to commit to a tour. Because, for the Women's International Music Network, we host our She Rocks Awards every year, and we run into that every time. Because we're trying to book this a year in advance.
Right.
And a lot of the people that we try to book have already got their schedule 9+ months in advance. In fact, bringing it back to Joan Jett, because I want you to share on that. We've been trying to successfully award her for the last 3 years in a row, and she wants to, but it always ends up being she's got something going the same weekend.
Yeah.
So we've honored Lita Ford as far as the Runaways. We've honored Lita Ford. We've had Cherie Curry there. This last time she honored, she gave the award to Suzi Quatro. So we know that that's a factor, but we know that isn't the only reason.
Yeah. Well, so what are you guys going to do this year? Are you going to do virtual awards?
We're doing virtual. Yeah, because NAMM is predominantly virtual this year. I'm not sure that they're doing anything in person. I think they might have things set up and then they'll do a virtual of it, right? Yeah. Where you can't physically go, which just sucks because we can't go and play with all the freaking equipment. That's the best part of NAMM, part of the best part. But at least we'll still have access to the workshops and the seminars and the information. And that's just as important. So I know they're going to do all that. And I believe it's just all going to be online. I don't think anyone's really invited to come on out and try things out. So we're following suit for the She Rocks Awards. And we got in our nominations. Thank you so much for everyone who's put those in. And we will be hosting it live and just look for our posts. We always say too, sign up for our newsletter. Shiragirl, if you've got that, I always tell people newsletters are awesome because they don't get affected by algorithms. And you're always going to get something in your email with things going on. And we have a newsletter that goes out every month. So you can look for that to figure out or to find out, when to sign up for it if you want to, watch it and see who we're honoring for our 9th annual. It's like, wow.
Hopefully be back in person for the 10th annual, right?
That's the goal. That's the goal, right? All of us. So then give us your little story on Joan Jett before we go into your awesome virtual tour you've set up this fall. What was this about Joan Jett and the Shiragirl stage at the Van Warped?
Yeah, so Joan was on the Van Warped tour in 2006, playing the main stage, of course. And we had the Shiragirl stage running on the whole tour, and we would feature about 7 different girl bands every day. And she would ride her bike over and just sit at the side of our tiny little pink truck stage, just, taking it in, watching all the girl bands. I think she was also kind of scouting a little bit, for her label, Blackheart Records. But she was so supportive, even just of me and my band, Shiragirl. We did get to open up for her before the tour for some dates. And we would hang out with her, like her whole crew became like family to us. They kind of just took us under their wing. We'd hang out in their tour bus and everything and chill and smoke, and it would be so fun, and just it really felt like a family. And we actually brought back the stage for the final year of Warped Tour, as I mentioned, 2018, and Blackheart Records was a sponsor of the stage. So that was great. But I will say, that tour was not without its challenges, as Warped Tour often is. And basically what happened was halfway through that tour, half my band quit on me.
What?
Yeah, it was really sad. So I was playing, I kind of had some new girls in the band. They were a lot younger. One girl was actually 16, so they were like really young, I was 24 at the time. So, I kind of had my thing together a little bit more, but there was I had some really young girls who weren't cut out necessarily for the road yet. It's not an easy place to be. It's a lot of work. It's hot. It's sweaty. It's dirty. It's tiring, and it's not for everyone. But we know that's what we kind of signed up for. And halfway through the tour, we went back to LA, and that's where everyone was from. The tour started on the East Coast, and we played Dodger Stadium that day.
Yes,
and,
that had to be awesome.
Stadium, and then the end of that day, my drummer and her family came, and she's like, "I'm leaving the tour," and I was so upset because, obviously a big part of why I do what I do. is to empower all artists and not just myself. I always felt like it was bigger than just myself. I wanted to create a movement of solidarity and women supporting women. And this was really like long before that was like a hashtag and a buzzword, But,
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so it's kind of like, it's like the sweater effect, like, one quits and they all start dropping like flies. Then the next day we're actually at Sleep Train Amphitheater in Sacramento. And my guitarist, who was really young at the time, she played her set and she said, and I was trying to figure it out. Like I had some friends, Tatiana De Maria at the time was on tour with us playing my stage. I brought her over and I was friends with her drummer and he was really cool. And he was like, I'll play for you the rest of the tour. No big deal. I can play the songs in 2 days. So we were like, okay, great, we're good. And then my guitarist quits. So I'm like super bummed at this point, because, I love performing. At the end of the day, that's my passion. That's what I love doing, and it's like all the work and all the hard work, for those 30 minutes on stage to feel like you're living your dream, and connecting with the audience. And I was really bummed about it, trying to figure out what to do, talking to some friends about maybe coming out and finishing the tour. And I got a knock on my RV and I opened the door and there's Joan Jett in all her glory, her 5-foot glory or whatever, petite. And, in her little bikini, and she's like, hey, can I come in? I'm like, sure, so
yes.
Comes in.
How do you say no to Joan? You never say no to Joan.
Yeah, she sits, I know, exactly. She sits on the couch in my RV, and I sit down with her, and she said, listen, she looked at me, like, really, like, close in the eye, and she just goes, girls like that make girls like us look bad. And she's like, you're doing a good thing. You need to keep going and do what you're doing. Don't stop. So I was like, well, I better keep going because Joan Jett just told me to, Yeah. Amazing.
Oh, my Lanta.
Yeah, so,
that is epic.
Thank you. Yeah. So I did. I had another friend fly out, finish the tour. And then the very last day of the tour, we played Cleveland and Joan came onto the stage and, and Kenny, her manager, said, Joan's going to come to your stage today, and you guys are going to play Bad Reputation. And she wanted me to sing, and she played guitar and sang backups. And so we're at the side of the stage, like practicing, right before we go on. I felt like I was in the Runaways, like with Joan, and we're going over the chords, and it was amazing. And this was like 2006, so it was like obviously pre-Instagram, pre-Facebook. I think there was like some YouTube videos floating around about it, but yeah, it was amazing. Kevin Love.
Whoa, I'm gonna have to look that up. That you said it's on YouTube floating around?
I think so, but what's cool? So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame did a Warped Tour exhibit, and they collected that day. They collected items from the tour, and they collected my set, my little set list that had Joan Jett, Bad Reputation on it, and my tutu, my shirt, and then they had her like bikini, and then they brought it back last year for the 25th anniversary, and they put me in the same box as Joan freaking Jett in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they're like,
what?
And they told the story of how she came and did a surprise performance on like the Shiragirl stage. So yeah.
So you happen to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because of Joan Jett and her involvement.
Because of Warped Tour, yeah.
Because of Warped Tour, but more importantly, because you saw something missing, you created the female stage. You were recognized by Joan Jett for that stage, and look what it led to. Oh my gosh. Like my mind, you don't even understand where my mind is going with this right now, because I'm doing your 7 degrees of Joan Jett right here, and it's like not even 7, it's like 2. Congratulations.
She's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And like I said, like Blackheart has been so supportive, continues to be supportive of what, of my crusade, so to speak, our crusade. And yeah, I got to hang out with her just about a year ago. It just came up, the memory came up, in my Facebook memories. She opened up for Heart at the Hollywood Bowl about a year ago. And myself and my guitarist friend, Britt Lightning, who you might know from Vixen, we went backstage and we got to hang out with Joan. So yeah, they're awesome. They're like us.
That is so incredible, because the closest I've gotten to Joan was when she came to Sacramento to perform at the State Fair, and that was epic. And someone took me for my birthday to see her, and I thought I just was going to lose my because there's enough young people that they know her, but they don't understand the journey she went to get where she is today. When I brought up earlier in this conversation about the Runaways and about Lita Ford, about Cherie Curry, knowing that these young underage girls were being prepped, you know, to be
Right.
in an industry where no one saw women doing rock. No
Right.
one. I shouldn't say no one. Men did not see women playing guitars, singing lead, and rocking out, whether it was femme or not femme, they just were rocking it out. And she's one of those pioneers that did it at age like 15.
Yeah.
And she's still kicking ass
Stuck with it,
today,
yeah.
which is what is so important to recognize. That was the 70s. And this is 2020. And she's also recognizing younger generations like yourself and letting you know, hey, I see you. Keep doing what you're doing. That's huge. So again, just like I'm still kind of over this whole story is incredible. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
So now moving towards, because you keep creating all these incredible needs and opportunities and platforms. Right now you have got going, and it was a takeoff from your summer tour, the Gritty in Pink virtual fall tour. Let's give the watchers and the listeners about this, because you've got the next one airing tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Instagram Live at Gritty and Pink Life. So a little background about Gritty and Pink. I know you had mentioned you were curious about the name. So back in the day when we were doing the Warped Tour, we had a little press clip and the title was Gritty and Pink. And we just thought, oh, we love that. It's got a great ring to it. It really encapsulates like what we're about, because we had this big, pink stage that we painted with like house paint. I think we literally went into Home Depot with a Barbie doll box and we said, here, match this color. So anyhow, Gritty and Pink, kind of became our mantra, and our goal was to start a tour called the Gritty and Pink Tour. And I was working with Kevin Lyman from Warped Tour. He was advising me on how to get this thing off the ground. And we just thought, coming around to like the end of Warped Tour, we're like, now is the time, we have to, Warped Tour is no longer going to be a given every summer. And, we have to think beyond Warped now and extend our mission. So we decided to start, to kick off Gritty and Pink actually as a monthly event in LA. And we had a little kickoff event on it last year. And then we officially started in January. We started a monthly event at the Satellite in LA. And it was amazing. It was magical. We started this thing called the All Girl Jam. We had over 40 of LA's best female musicians performing like themed cover songs. So we had a couple opening sets, and then we had DJing really cool like female, like Latigra and Peaches and Bikini Kill, and then the All Girl Jam featured like everyone from like Eva Gardner, who plays bass for Pink. She's great. It was really like a lot of amazing high profile musicians. Jess Bowen, who plays drums for 303. We had Britt Lightning from Vixen. We had Alicia Vigil. We had a lot of really great influential artists, and we created sort of this like magical just community, like the scene. It was honestly filling a big void in the LA music scene, because there is a lot of there's a lot of sexism, and women don't really have that place. We have to fight twice as hard. They have a huge jam culture in Hollywood. It used to be like every Mondays at the Viper Room, and it was all these different like events at other venues, but women were sort of few and far between, and we just thought we really want to create like this space. Yeah, exactly. So you guys covered it.
We did.
For the Women's History Month.
Incredible.
That was our last event. So we did January, February, March. Women's History Month in March 3rd, which was pretty much the last show that like we all played at and went to before everything shut down. And we were supposed to do Chickchella in April. Yeah,
Chickchella, what?
Yeah, and then obviously we had to cancel that. So Tatiana De Maria was supposed to fly out in April. So we had January was Grammys month, February was Valentine's, March was Women's History Month, and then we said April we're going to do Coachella theme. And we had Tatiana De Maria flying out from New York, and there was a lot of uncertainty at the time, and I called Tat, she was like, I'm still coming, like no one knew like exactly how it was crazy it was going to get.
We really did not. We were flying by the seat of our pants for like the first 2 months solid on what we were doing, right?
Yeah. And we also had a show at Corbin Bowl in my band at the end of March, and I anticipated this. I reached out to the promoter, and he's like, no, it's good. We'll be good. We're going to still be doing it. Like people were kind of in denial at the beginning, but I told my team, I said, listen, this is an opportunity for us. Let's do a live stream. You know, like once we were all really locked down last 2 weeks of March, I said, people need connection. Everyone feels isolated. You know, performers need performance opportunities. You know, no one knows like when things are going to come back. And, you know, there was a real risk of mental health, you know, challenges there. And so we did a 2-hour live stream on Instagram Live the day that we were supposed to have our in-person event, which was the first Tuesdays. And it was great. We had over 600 viewers. We had a lot of artists from our community. It was like a marathon. I think we had like 18 artists, you know, it was our first time doing it. And we thought, you know what, let's start doing it every week. You know, clearly there's a market for this, and, you know, gave us something to do while we were kind of figuring out our next steps. And so we created, we eventually named it GRL.
Ooh, uh-oh, I lost her. I started to say, so she's going to jump back on here. While she does that, this is what she's talking about for those who are still in here, because it's really important we get to this part, because this is about revolutionizing voter recognition.
I'm back. What happened?
There she is. There she is. I knew she was coming back. So keep talking, because I'm sharing your screen about this.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we started Gritty Rocks Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Instagram Live. And then we started doing different themes. Like we did something for Mother's Day where we had, you know, all these artists who were moms. Some of them played with their kids. We had Kelly from the Dolly Rots, Polly from the Bomb Pops. It was really awesome. And we just thought, you know, going into the summer, like, again, no one knew, like, our show's going to be back. Are they not? And we came up with this idea for the virtual tour. It was actually an idea of my bassist, Alex's. And we were trying to figure out kind of what the format could be. At the same time, we started doing live fundraisers. Instagram Live started doing that. So for Mental Health Awareness Month, we teamed up with Charity Bomb, and we raised money for mental health. So it's really cool. You can donate to the organization right at the bottom of, if you've seen that before in Instagram Live. And so we're like, okay, this is exciting and fun. You know, we want everyone. It was such a time where people really wanted to, you know, help each other and get behind all the good causes, you know, and we're all struggling, but we're all struggling together and trying to help each other. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So we did like a Pride Month edition, and we did all these different shows. And then, yeah, we just thought, you know what, let's keep going with our format that seems to work, the Tuesday night Instagram Live, and we'll just feature artists from a different city every week. So yeah, all over the summer, we did over 50 artists from.
You sure did. I remember sharing the information. It was really awesome. And I actually caught a few of them too.
Thank you.
It was really great.
Good. You know, we were able to raise thousands of dollars for ACLU. Headcount was also one of our partners in the summer. And Sweet Relief Musicians Fund for artists really suffering during COVID. And, you know, the cool thing was, to me, it showed like people power, you know, because look, it was just an Instagram Live show. You know, at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of punk rock, right? Because it's not like the highest quality sound. And sometimes, you know, we would have, like we just did, like, right, technical difficulties. It's unpredictable a little bit. The internet, you know, drops out and you're like, what am I doing? But the point was just bring people together, and we were able to do that. And we had a lot of support. Fender did a giveaway. We had like 15 brand partners that did giveaways for the big donors and things like that. So that's the virtual tour. And then we just thought, okay, got to do something for the fall. And
now the focus is about voting and turnout and voting, which is so key, because right now in this year, they say 40% of eligible voters are between the ages of 18 and 34. So basically nearly half of those that are eligible are Gen Zs and millennials. And that's huge.
Yeah, no, that is huge. And it's so important that we use our voice and get out and vote. And so what we're doing for the fall tour is we are partnering with Headcount and raising money for their efforts to spread the word on voter registration and voter turnout. They have a lot of great resources. If you're still trying to figure out your voter registration, go to headcount.org. They even have a thing where you can text to register. And so they've been very supportive, coming onto our show every week and talking to everyone, just kind of answering any questions about that. And then the whole tour is leading up to our I Voted election live stream, which I don't know if you're familiar with I Voted, but they're going to be.
I just learned because of you.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, they are going to be. It's very exciting. They're going to be the largest online festival in history. They have over 600 artists set up to perform. And in order to gain entrance into the live stream, you just have to show proof that you voted. So a selfie of you at the polling place, I voted sticker, or, you know, your ballot before you vote. And so definitely go to ivotedfestival.com is the website, and you can RSVP there. It's really cool. And, you know, to us, to be part of something like that was very important and powerful, you know, because we always want to do something bigger than ourselves, you know, and this was an opportunity to have kind of like a virtual stage at a virtual festival, which again, we're trying to say, okay, there's a lot of things we can't do right now, but what can we still do, you know?
Right.
So, and I will say we do have one more charity that we are fundraising for the last couple of weeks of the tour, which is Keep Abreast, which is so important. Good friend of mine, Shani Joe, is a founder, and, you know, it's still Breast Cancer Prevention Month, you know,
Yes.
but it's kind of getting lost in the noise of this election year and all this craziness of the pandemic. So, you know, we wanted to make sure we gave them some support as well.
You are you're such an innovator, really, and a creator. And the fact that you realize that this is all more than just us, that we're all a community. I mean, my mind is just reeling on this, because when I read your sheet on that and who you have involved, especially the organizations and the importance of this. I mean, you just kicked this off last Tuesday, correct?
Last Tuesday was our second show, actually. So we started in Detroit. We wanted to make sure we hit some swing states. So we started in Detroit and then Milwaukee, and then tomorrow we're hitting Portland. So very exciting. Also, again, it's a benefit for headcount. It's the last week for voter registration, so it's so important to drive that home.
So important.
Yeah.
And also, too, for those listening, check your voter registration. Please, please, please.
Yes.
I have been a registered voter in the city I'm living in, Sacramento, for over 20 years. My daughter's been registered for about 5. And would you believe I double-checked our registration, and they had us down in Glenora, 400 miles south.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, please also double check that you have it, because that means that mail's whatever. If you haven't been getting mail, it's because of that.
Right. Better safe than sorry. I know. And I
better safe than sorry.
So absolutely. I wanted to make sure I knew my new polling place and all that. But I'm so excited to, vote by mail. We got the ballots and
yep.
Woohoo! The easiest thing ever. So I'm really excited for that. And then, I think on election day, we're definitely going to do some coverage of what's going on, locally at the polls and things like that. It's going to be, it's going to be really heightened this year,
High five, Brianna Cass says she has already voted.
I see that. Thanks,
boom.
Brianna.
That's what it's about. A lot of people already have. I'm my daughter and I are getting. I'm heading to drop them off today after this is done. We went over it this weekend, and and it's because there's so much more going on than just voting for who the next president is. We're talking, flipping seats in the Senate. We're talking, for your area, important propositions, and so. And fortunately, though, the booklets do give pretty good information. You can reach out to trusted people to kind of help give I've had people reach out to me because I was also a Lyft driver and the Prop 22. So I've had friends and family go, "What do you feel about that?" So, you can do that. You can reach out to trusted people that get their opinions and take your time with it, because you're only going to get that one chance to vote. Just make sure if you're going to mail it, do it before October 20th to give the post office a chance. Ample time. A lot of places, at least here in Sacramento, they've got to be other cities. You can drop them off at polling places now once it's completed. So they're really doing what they can in each city to make sure your vote counts and it gets to where it needs to go. And everybody, I'm telling you, your voice matters. Shiragirl is telling you, and Gritty and Pink is telling you, your voice matters. So then tomorrow night you're kicking off in Portland, and who are the artists that are going to be performing?
Yeah, we have some great artists. We have Jay Graves, who are great. We have Black Tones are actually repping Seattle, so the whole kind of Pacific Northwest area. We have Kingsley, and we have Haley Lynn. And then every week we've been having a special guest host kind of from our LA area, sort of our core community of gritty girls that have been, with us since the start. So we have JL Gerber. She's awesome. She's going to be guest hosting. And so the other thing is every week we do a little tribute to an artist from that city. So like we did Violent Femmes last week. Nice. We called ourselves the Violent Butches. And the first week I did a little Eminem cover. I was the Real Slim Lady.
No.
I covered Lose Yourself. Yeah. So we have fun with it. Like when we went to Nashville, we did Dolly Parton, you know, when we were in Texas, we did like Destiny's Child. So yeah, we have fun with it. We do fun little covers. So always tune in to check that out. We try to have a kind of an element of surprise there. And then, so the other thing is we decided to do something a little new and different for this tour because we wanted, as I mentioned, sometimes with Instagram Live, you know, it's a little bit of a limited platform. You only get, you know, kind of when you go and come to the split screen, it's like this small square and you get the comments streaming and then, you know, the sound is just like really limited. So we're doing these sort of pre-show episodes where artists, you know, they tape a live performance and we're able to show it like in all its glory and widescreen. And so we post that, earlier in the day on Tuesday so people can check that out, you know, check out the artist. And then the live stream is more of like a fun little like chat interview. Sometimes artists will do like, you know, an acoustic song on it also, but we kind of changed the format. It seems to be working well. And, you know, we bring on the live aspect with the house band here in the Gritty Studios. So it's been great.
I know we love it because looking at your little background there, you've got some really, I love the drums in the back and the hole with the skull and crossbones, your pillows. Nice little
Thank you. Yes, we created some tour merch. So
nice. Okay.
Little pillow. But how cute is this? I mean, this is all the artists that were involved in our first tour. I'm so thankful. Bad Cop, Bad Cop. Wait,
I need to get one of those. Are those still available? I'm going to order one of those and I want to order something from the one now. So I can just go to the Instagram and the link will be there.
Instagram, okay. Absolutely. But we had Kill Me Valentine, Hunter Valentine. I mean, we had so many great artists. Juno, Reverie, Jennifer Finch from L7. Hello. Like,
what?
Cool. Yeah.
That's
She's
cool.
Been really supportive. Rozzy, Madeline Rosine. So I Set to Kill, Whitney Payton, you know, a lot of great up and coming artists. And then I got to shout out our sponsors. One of our sponsors, Weed Maps.
That is hilarious.
They've been really supportive of us. And I've always been an advocate of medical marijuana. And it's because it's helped me and a lot of other people I know. And so that was a big thing for me. Like when I moved out to LA from New York, actually, like 6 years ago, I was like, I felt like it was my civil right to like go into a dispensary, you know, after seeing friends like get arrested and things for weed, you know. So they're going to be on the show tomorrow too, kind of speaking about, you know, what they have going on in Portland. And, you know, they have done a lot of activism too, which is great.
That's phenomenal. You cover like every base. It's incredible. You go Shiragirl. So then everyone.
We appreciate your support.
Always, please. Women helping women. That's what we do. That's what the Women's International Music Platform is for, right? Because there aren't enough.
Bonnie and Laura, you know, and all your guys' support. Yeah, it's been great.
It's, you know, there isn't enough of it out there. We're trying. We're doing what we do. You're doing what you do. Now, anyone listening and you want to jump on all of that, because I think you should. We think you should. I just threw them up. The Gritty in Pink Life and Shira_girl are the accounts on Instagram to follow and keep up with. The lives will happen on the Gritty in Pink Instagram. And like you said, you also have pre-recorded ones that are there. So you can enjoy music live, pre-recorded. You can donate some money. You can get registered to vote. You could be an activist while having fun and being gritty while you do it.
And you could win giveaways from Weed Maps and some of our other sponsors. Guitar Girl Magazine is another partner. So
look at that. And on top of that, you win free stuff.
Yeah, we're going to do a little, we haven't announced it yet, but you heard it first here. We're going to do a giveaway of a little pink ukulele. How cute.
Oh,
from
my
Guitar Girl
Lanta.
Magazine.
That's
and then Fender's also going to be giving away a guitar. So yeah, it's very exciting and it's really inspiring to see, you know, all the support that we get from the community.
Oh, you have covered all the bases as to why people need to follow this. And I personally truly love that there's so much community happening and backing you and doing this important thing as well. I think that's what we've learned, even here in Sacramento. When music became completely devastated the way that it was, community will come together and support one another, and they will do what they can to keep it thriving, because we're the only ones that can do that, you know, to keep us going, because we will be the last. Broadway musical performances or just Broadway performances and music live will be the last to be implemented once all this is said and done. So we got to take care of one another. Very true. Shout out to you, Miss Shiragirl. High five. All righty then. So as to recap it, again, please follow Gritty Pink in Life and Shira_girl on Instagram. That is where the live performances are happening. The next one is tomorrow night. It's going to be every Tuesday through to the election. You get to win awesome prizes. You get to be involved in activism. You get to have fun with live music. And what more do you need?
I want to take a screenshot. I know I can screenshot.
Oh, yes, please do.
I think it'll be fun.
Screenshot away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Right.
Thank you, Myki, for all your support, honestly, of not just what we do, but women in music in general. So I see you.
Thank you, girl, because I see you. Yeah. All right. And then so we'll go ahead and close this out. Again, please follow what you see. This video will be saved on the Women's International Music Network's Facebook and YouTube, and we go live every week with somebody. And I want to thank you again, Shira, for being here and doing such
Thank you.
wonderful
I want
things.
to say one more thing if I can.
Oh, please do.
After the tour, look out. If you are a woman in the music industry or know a woman in the music industry, we are going to be launching a membership program. So definitely look out for that. And we'll have to talk more about that when it comes up. But we're excited to really build our community more. So
I love it. Keep us posted here at the Women, because we will make sure to share that on our website and our social so that people can get involved for
definitely.
sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, darling. Everyone, thank you for joining. This is Myki Angeline with the Women's International Music Network at Live Front and Center.